Welcome everyone to the Cup That Matters, and it seems when it matters, Australia has brought their A game because they've bowled out New Zealand for just 183 at the MCG in the 2015 World Cup final. Will that be enough? Looks very, very difficult. Elliott once again top scoring for New Zealand with 83, but the rest of the batting lineup could only put up 100 runs between them. Faulkner, Johnson picking up 3 wickets each, but really it would be the start by Mitchell Starc that really set the tone for Australia in their bowling innings. Just 184 required for Australia to remember, win their 5th World Cup title, and what a title win that would be. With me in the studio, Andrew Simons, a 2-time World Cup winner with Australia, and of course he's beaming with pride. Andrew is extremely happy with the performance. He thinks this was coming. And of course, Nikhil Chopra, former Indian player as well. Before we go to them, and Boria Majumdar, who's joining us from Melbourne with some good Aussie fans, let's take a quick reminder of what happened in the first innings. New Zealand setting a target of just 184 runs in 50 overs for Australia at Melbourne. Batting first after winning the toss, the Kiwis lost. Captain Brendan McCullum with only 1 run on the scoreboard, dismissed by Mitchell Starc after a brilliant 3 deliveries. Martin Guptill overtook Kumar Sangakkara to become the highest scorer in the tournament before he was dismissed by Maxwell for just 15. Kane Williamson scored 12, while Ross Taylor scored 40 before he was dismissed by Faulkner. Corey Anderson too couldn't get going, including Luke Ronchi and tailenders failing to add much to the total. The Kiwi fight back for the 4th wicket really was led by Grant Elliott, who top scored with 83, a partnership with Ross Taylor there. But before and after that, absolutely nothing of note for New Zealand. It seems it's all coming downhill for them. They've led brilliantly in this World Cup, dominated so much. But Andrew, when it comes to the final, quite a whimper from New Zealand here.
Yeah, I think the Australians have really just peaked at the right time. Their quicks, they've got better and better in the last 3 games, and today they were clinical. They didn't give anything away in the field. Any ball that was hit into the outfield, or the boys dived on it, there was no easy boundaries. They bowled straight, they bowled hard, they bowled fast, and the Kiwis were just strangled the whole time. As soon as they started a little partnership with Bill, then they lost wickets in clusters. Yeah. And when you lose 2-3 wickets in a cluster, it makes it very difficult. Because
at 35 with 150 on the board, just 3 wickets down, it seemed they could double the score. But before we talk about the progression, what a start from Mitchell Starc. Those 3 deliveries to get Brendan McCullum out, I mean, that's where Australia won half the battle.
Yeah, I think he over-attacked there, definitely. I don't know if it was nerves or what, but man bowling at 150 swinging the ball, I don't know if running down the wicket in the first over of a World Cup final is the way forward.
But that's the way he plays, one would say.
Well, you can say that, but I think on a day like this, he's got to be a little smarter than that. Just play the first over out, see what the ball's doing, you know, and then get a feel for the game and go from there. But to roar down the wicket, 4th ball of a World Cup final and miss it by, you know, 4 or 5 inches, and then be out 2 balls later, I didn't think that was a great start for him.
Let me go across to Boria. Boria, how was the cheer? How loud was the cheer when Brendan McCullum got out?
Oh, the stadium just erupted. I mean, that was the moment. As you can see here, you know, people are just relaxing now. It's all over. I mean, it's almost done with. If Manish can show you the fan zone, you know, people are just having a chilled out beer. It seems the match is over. I mean, it's one of the most one-sided contests that you can possibly see, Shivani. I'm entirely with Andrew. The first ball from Mitchell Starc, you missed that. You almost got out. You have some brains. You're captain of New Zealand, their best batsman. Second ball you miss again, and the 3rd ball you're gone. You should be smarter than that. Yes, you've played like this right through the World Cup. This is a different venue. This is not New Zealand, not conditions that you play every day. You could have been a better captain and a better opener and a better smart cricketer than that, Brendan McCullum. I thought it was done. 45 for 3, good partnership, but it was just 1 wicket away. The Australian fast bowlers were fantastic. Hopefully it will be Michael Clarke's day. I would love to see him get that trophy for his farewell.
But you wanted a new World Cup champion.
Yeah, but I didn't expect my mate to sort of say it's his farewell contest, and now, you know, there's one winner, and that's Australia, and I would love to see Michael Clarke with that trophy.
Is it all over, Nikhil? Is it all over? 183? India defended that in 1983?
Yeah, the conditions are different. Until unless that new ball swings, Shivani, it'll be very difficult to just stop the Australians chasing down 184.
Because there's no pressure batting second with this total.
Even if it swings, you know, you've got all the time in the world. You'll give respect to the swinging ball, and it's not going to keep swinging all day long. Maybe 7, 8, maybe 10 overs at that max, and you still have all the time in the world. But the difference for Australia is after they lost the toss, you know, we all know how important the toss has been when you're playing in Australian conditions. You're batting first, everything was advantage New Zealand. That's what you talk about a champion side. When the chips are down, their bowlers, you know, raise their arm and says, we'll try and get the game back.
You know, I've always felt we make sometimes too much of the toss. You know, that was the case when India lost the semi-final against Australia as well. Everybody said losing the toss was such a big setback. It is, sure. But, you know, you make your own first innings.
Absolutely. You know, with the quick bowler, Stark had the new ball in his hand, Mitchell Johnson, they all knew. The first 3-4 overs make all the difference. We all know that, you know, the Indian team has been bowling out oppositions, but they've been bowling out oppositions when you've got 300 runs on board, the other side's chasing. You pick up 10 wickets. But when you lose the toss in an important game, then you give that new ball to the bowlers. Then they go out there and get 10 wickets. That makes the difference.
All right, let's just take a look at how the top charts stand as far as the 2015 World Cup is concerned. Let's take a look at the batsmen first up. Martin Guptill couldn't quite get his team to the kind of total he would have wanted today, but he is top of the charts now with the 547. If they lose today, really that top spot is going to mean very, very little for him. Of course, he scored the highest individual score ever in a World Cup with that brilliant 200 earlier. But let's come to the bowlers now. Mitchell Stark leading the charts with 22. Right behind him is Trent Boult with 21. He'll need lots of wickets, perhaps a 5-4 or more, Andrew. If he might perhaps become the top wicket taker, but if he really wants to get his team to any position, he'll need a 5-4 or something in a quick time. Yeah,
they need to do the damage early on, like Australia did. But even if they do, you know, as Nikhil said, Australia have got so much time to knock these runs off. You won't see Australia come out and do anything rash. David Warner will play shots perhaps, but if he goes early, then you'll see Smith coming in and he'll just play. He won't be running down the wicket or anything like that. He'll just bat and try and knock these runs off. There's no rush, there's plenty of time, and you know, there's no panic, you know, and it'll be, if Australia everything goes according to plan, it'll be an anti-climax this final. It's a bit of a sad situation. It hasn't been a closer contest, but if New Zealand are to win this game, they have to bowl Australia out, and if they do that, well, they deserve to take the World Cup home with them. Yeah, absolutely. If they manage to defend such a total, then it would be a great performance. And you know, we are hoping at least for a fight of sorts. Let it not be completely one way. 22, like I mentioned, for Mitchell Stark. Trent Boult at 21. Let me go back across to Boria Majumdar. Boria, what do the fans feel? You're saying, you know, they're enjoying the afternoon now and the party for the Australians have started. But do the New Zealand fans have any hopes at all? Their bowling has been quite good this World Cup.
Yeah, but you know, 183 for an Australian side in home conditions, in very good batting conditions, is just not enough. I thought you made a very good point, Shivani, about the toss. I thought that was a very good point you made to Nikhil there. That, you know, we always talk about the toss and how important it is. And Australia went out there and proved that, you know, you make your own destiny. And you make your own destiny if you want to be a world champion team, and that's what they are. Quarter-final, semi-final, final, they've just smashed the opposition. Pakistan gone, India decimated. Today, they've already won half the battle. I mean, they've bowled New Zealand out. I thought that was a very good point for everybody. And also, Shivani, if I am allowed to make this point, there are some idiots back home who are burning effigies of Indian players. Please see how this Australian team is. Will the New Zealand support, will the New Zealand fans now go home and burn the effigies of their players? Or will they say it's been a good World Cup campaign? Some people in India need to learn their lessons and learn them big time.
I will say though, Boria, while you make a very good point, there is a bit of everything that happens in India, but by and large the reaction, you know, at least after a couple of hours, sense prevailed on social media and otherwise as well, and fans realize we've lost to a better team. But yes, some people always go over the top. You can't do much about that. You can't do much about that. But for Australia, sometimes we've seen, Andrew, small totals can be tricky, isn't it? Will they come out hard? David Warner, the kind of batsman he is, Aaron Finch, he likes to go for it as well. What should the ideal strategy for them be? Well, ideally you want to play a natural game.
But obviously it's a big game and there's going to be some nerves. If you're not nervous, it's unnatural. Playing a big final like this, you are nervous. But I think the openers just need to just feel bat on ball, get off the mark.
Nothing to hurry about.
Just turn the strike over, there's no panic. And then New Zealand are going to bowl bad balls because they're going to be trying to bowl Australia out. So there'll be opportunities for the openers to score runs because they'll be trying all sorts of different balls and trying to get a wicket, especially if they play the first 4 overs out, just steady, then they'll start trying things.
Australia and New Zealand did play out a low-scoring thriller, isn't it, at Auckland? And Australia came close. They were trying to defend a low target there. You know, it's been reversed. Do you see a repeat happening at all, Andrew?
Shivani,
do you fear it?
I know you're trying to do your job here, but Australia's not losing this game, I'm telling you. I think everyone can feel it. We're hoping that something dramatic's going to happen as a spectacle, but I can't see it. I really can't.
Well, New Zealand's a good fighter. You know, the Kiwi side is a good fighter, and you know they've won this title so much. They're going to bring everything to it, isn't it?
Absolutely, and I don't see, you know, even post the first 10 overs, I don't see the field getting spread out because the only chance that the Kiwis have got, Shivani, is taking wickets, and you need to put pressure. You know, have guys standing in slip. You'll have more people in the 30-yard circle to stop the Aussie batsman to, you know, rotate strike. But I guess 183, I'd say even at 250, things could have looked a little different. But 183, to be honest, until something bizarre happens, is not happening.
Unless David Warner loses his mind.
Then the game is going to get over quickly, I'll tell you that.
All right, final comments. Andrew, how are you planning to celebrate? Since you were so sure Australia is winning, and you've given us that prediction, can you tell us how you're going to celebrate in our studios?
Oh, look, I think you should probably shout me dinner and a few cold drinks, and we'll just sit around and just talk about what happened.
Few cold drinks, huh?
Yeah, a few cold
okay,
drinks.
I'll take down the menu from Andrew later, just exactly what he wants. Boria, are you ready to party hard for Australia?
You know, Shivani, it's been a long tour. You know how difficult it is when you're on assignment, so no, I will do my job. I'll celebrate for sure for my friends, but it's been a great World Cup for Australia. They've once again proved they're the best cricket team in the world in this format and by a distance. 5 World Cup titles, and I think it'll be a 6 or a 7 wicket win for Australia, and it'll be quite a cakewalk.
Boria, you won't enjoy celebrating all alone since you've got 2 of your friends here sitting in the studio. 3, sorry.
Exactly. I mean, you open that bottle of champagne for me. You open that bottle of champagne for me in the studio. Andrew should open it, give Shivani and you a glass. You know, I don't drink, but I will do a toast here for all of you.